Welcome to Comic-Con,
where once a year, sci-fi buffs take their lips off the barrel of a loaded gun and spend half a day adjusting their eyes to sunlight.
You want to see a comic book with pregnant zombie nuns?
You psychotic nerd!
Dude, what a bunch of freaking nerdos.
Can't you see I'm white and nerdy? Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
I'm a nerd too.
Your personality needs some work.
You're not part of the popular clique.
But I was kind of a lonely nerd in high school.
I started a quilt. I did yoga twice a week. I wore flip-flops in public.
I like to roll with the gangsters. Although it's apparent I'm too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. I'm just too white and nerdy. Look at me, I'm white and nerdy.
You're nerd.
Well, welcome to your nerd side, a side of us we seem to always have. It makes no difference. Yeah, don't hide that side from us. Don't hide it. Let it come out. Do you like comic books? Do you like video games? Do you like those movies that people make fun of you and you shouldn't be watching? Well, they're really popular right now. Hey, the Avengers came out, but I don't want to touch that at all. Not one bit, because we're going to wait for the crew to get back. Okay, Anna Maria, she went on vacation. She'll be back next week. So we're just going to do a best of from the Big Wow comic book convention, all right? And I got some winners for the hoverboards if you guys have been emailing in for this. I'm Fonseca. Mike Matthews, not here today. And then we don't have Anna Maria, of course. But if you want to follow along with the show and see what's going on with us when we do get back, because they still have their blogs, yournerdside.com. Now, Tammy Louise from Montana, you won yourself a Back to the Future hoverboard. Also, Richard Waynes from San Diego, you won yourself a Back to the Future hoverboard. And we still have more left. This is going to be going on through the year.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? Oh my God, oh my God.
2015. You kind of get the thing. All right, well, we're going to come back and we're going to do some news and all that good stuff. But first off, this week or last weekend, I was actually at the Big Wow comic book convention. It's my first time getting to go behind the scenes to see what's going on and talk to the stars. Let's start it off and see what happened when I was in San Jose's Big Wow Comic Book Festival. Hey, it's Fonseca. I'm live at, it's called Big Wow Comic Book Convention, and now I'm with Steve Wyatt. Did I say that right?
Yes, Steve Wyatt, and it's Big Wow Comic Fest.
He says it better than me. I love this. Okay, we just got here and arrived. We're in San Jose, and I want you, Steve, to tell me this Big Wow Comic Fest. How did it all come to be? Did you started this, correct?
Right, we started this as SuperCon back in 1979 in Hayward at Centennial Hall, and it has slowly morphed and emerged to what it is. We're now the Bay Area's largest comic book convention, and we're one of the only pure comic book conventions left in the country. Most of them are entertainment shows that call themselves Comic-Con, but we are an actual comic book convention with over 100 comic book creators sitting out there. You can actually come in here and buy comic books.
So we're not going to be taken over by Hollywood. Am I right?
Right. No, there is a little Hollywood element. There always will be, because most of Hollywood, they'd be surprised how much Hollywood came from our world. I'll give you a movie that most people, Road to Perdition, Tom Hanks, great gangster movie. That was a comic book first. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Sean Connery, that was a comic book first. I mean, I could say Avengers and Thor and all. Of course, you know that. But there are so many other things out there that were comic books first.
And how did you come about putting this together? I mean, did you have to get the funds? You started with a group of 10 people? How, though?
Well, I mean, it started with me. My first show I put on because my mom couldn't drive me to San Francisco. I grew up in Castro Valley. That's why I put one on in Hayward. So if I can't go to the big one, I'll put my own on. I was in 9th grade. Well, since then, I have partners, I have friends, I have built this crew of people that love this industry that work with me. It's not a big money maker. It's for the love of this industry.
Well, I'm going to do everything in my power. I wish I knew. Weeks ago, I've been promoting the crap out of this at Big Wow Comic Fest. Next year, I'm going to come here in full force, and if you allow us, and if Rich allows me, my boss, we'll broadcast live from here. I don't mind.
Absolutely. That's absolutely possible.
I love this. All right. Thank you so much. We're going to walk around, talk to more things, and find out more. If everyone wants to find out more about the Big Wow Comic Fest, where do they go to find out more?
www.bigwowcomicfest.com.
All right, you heard it straight from here. Steve Wyatt, and he is the founder, the chairman, the CEO of Big Wow Comic Fest. Well, that's just part one And we've got so much more to go through from Big Wow Comic Book Fest. Hey, it's your nerd side. I'm Fonseca. Yes, everyone's on vacation. Now, before we get back to more of what happened at the Big Wow Comic Book Fest, Batman IMAX poster was released without the Superman logo. And this is kind of bizarre. We're going to get more into that in the next episode. And Scott Snyder confirms shocking ending in Batman number 40 is what it looks like. What is it? Well, it's on yournerdside.com. And Josh Whedon had a terrible idea for Marvel's new Daredevil. Mark Ruffalo calls Marvel out for not having more Black Widow merchandise. I know Anna Maria is going to be all over this. We'll talk about that next week, okay? And we also have a first look at Will Smith on the set of Suicide Squad. It's all on, you ready for this? yournerdside.com. Flash TV series, Superman will be making an appearance. So we're actually talking about the Superman from Smallville. And when? Probably next season. But it's going to be a crossover. Looks like they're trying to make the Justice League there. All right, we've got a lot to talk about, so much. But I want to get into this because they're going to yell at me if I don't. Let's get back to Big Wow Comic Book Fest and let's walk around and see what's going on first. All right? We're going to come right back, right here, your nerd side. Let's go back to San Jose. Look what I'm doing. I am walking around Big Wow. We're back again, Big Wow Comic Fest. And I'm with the head of media relations. He is the CEO. He puts all the celebrities, and he's taking me on. And he got me this cool pass that says Press Pass Big Wow Comic Fest. What's your name real fast?
Bill Waters.
Bill Waters, how long have you been doing this for?
Doing here with Big Wow for about 5 years now.
5 years, and I'm looking around on the floor, and there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I mean, actually, they're the rows, and they're selling comic books and T-shirts, and you name it, everything a fanboy would go crazy for. And how long has this been going on, actually?
This has been going on for a lot of years. I think 15 years plus, because it was Big Wow for about the last 5-6 years. Then before that, it was SuperCon in the Bay Area, and now it's kind of come into the main San Jose Convention Center. It's been growing year over year, about 10-15%. So it's a nice steady growth, so you don't suddenly get blown out of the space and you can't move. Here, you can still move through. Families are having a good time, and that's what we're doing right now.
And you know what I'm happy about? It doesn't have that Comic-Con Hollywood feel. This is more tangible, and you get to meet the celebrities up close and stuff. Am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like, we're starting over here on the first row. This is where we got both other conventions that are in the area, so people can kind of find out what their niche. Sacramento has their horror shows, anime shows, toy conventions, KrakenCon coming up next weekend in Oakland. Then we go down to the fan tables. We've got Ghostbusters, we got G.I. Joe. They're out for a
Wait, is that the actual Ecto 1 I'm looking at down there?
Let's go take a look down there. It's the one.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture. If you guys don't, go to the website right now, yournerdside.com, and you're going to see the Ecto 1 it's the Ghostbusters one. How the hell did you guys get this?
You know, they didn't have any calls right now, and so we told them there's some great ghost activity in San Jose, and they came rolling down. So we've got them hanging out here for the day waiting for their call.
This is great. And they can come up, and what is it? It's Bay Area GB is their handle I'm looking at right now. The Bay Area Ghostbusters, as we're at the first table.
Or if you like your time-traveling DeLoreans.
Oh, my God. We've got the DeLorean from Back to the Future right here.
You do. So we got here, if you want to chat with him, he's got his whole project with the car, his other sort of film projects that are going on. We've got the Ectos going on, and generally whatever strikes the fans' fancy, whether it be comics, whether it be movies, television, come on down and let your geek flag fly.
There's a lot going up here. Okay, so where are you going to take me to now, or who can I talk to next?
We're going to be going down this way past the cosplayer row. So we've got a number of nationally known cosplayers here kind of helping promote the hobby of cosplay, taking photos with everybody. And then just beyond that, actually beyond the TARDIS down ahead, we'll wind up going into the celebrity areas where they're doing signings today, and we'll see if we can get you hooked up for a couple of quick conversations with them.
That's awesome. Okay, we're going to walk past Doctor Who's TARDIS right now. In a few seconds, we're going to talk to our first celebrity and find out who it is while I push my way through this crowd of, well, everyone is dressed up.
Okay, the interview will take place.
You guys are just going to talk for a little bit. I'm going to leave you alone, and then I'll come right back after the interview.
You haven't used one four-letter word throughout our whole interview.
All right, I am at a Big Wow Comic Fest, and I am walking around, and lo and behold, the powers of being have put me in front of some gentleman that I grew up watching. I've seen him on so many TV shows. Ladies, it's Richard Hatch. Is it okay if I call you Apollo?
Yeah, no, it's a little confusing for me because, there are 2 Apollos, right? You know that. In fact, there's 3.
Are there really?
Apollo, guy that flew the Apollo mission.
That's right.
Then there's the other Apollo, which is the guy that basically is on the new reimagined version.
Yeah.
And then there's the original, the one, the only Richard Hatch Apollo.
The original Richard Hatch Apollo. But when you played the new Battlestar Galactica, you played a captain, didn't you?
No, I played Tom Zarek, political revolutionary, the only guy that spoke the truth in the fleet. That's right.
Oh. What, repeat that again?
Of course, nobody got it because nobody ever wants to hear the truth. And like every great, from Braveheart to all the other greats that ever challenged governments, they got blown out the airlock.
That's true. It is true. It's true. So have they ever asked to do like a reunion of Battlestar Galactica?
Actually not, but I'll tell you something. I created a trailer called the Second Coming trailer. We were talking to Universal. We talked to Sony. Talked to a number of companies, and they were all interested in doing a continuation with the original actors, plus a new generation born in space. Got very close to doing that, but all fell apart because of some legal litigation over rights, and then ultimately they brought back the reimagined version, which I thought, and I have to be honest, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was one of the best written, best produced, best acted sci-fi series in history, ever.
And so what are you doing right now? What are you up to right now? You got any projects
I'm actually involved in this indie Trek. I want to call it groundbreaking indie Trek film. It takes place when Kirk was in Starfleet Academy, and he looked up to Garth of Izar, who was the starship captain most famous for this big war of Exonar. And they've raised over $1 million. They've brought in some of the top actors from this new reimagined Battlestar series, also from some of the other Star Trek series, and top to bottom, it's one of the most professional productions I've ever seen. And they're filming in October, but they've put a 21-minute prelude to Exonar trailer together, so you can check that out online. Put it in axanar.com. Check it out. And I play General Karn in that, which is this Klingon general.
Look at you!
And then I got this, what I've been working on for 15 years, called Guam, Great War of Magellan, which is this epic series that I have spent most of my last 15 years developing. I've also done a pilot with Malcolm McDowell called Cowboys and Engines, which is a steampunk pilot. And one other presentation I did, which was After the Harvest, kind of a Mad Max style series presentation. That's another pilot. And then last but not least, I'm directing a movie called With Honors about a Vietnam vet that's been on the street for 30 years, won Medal of Honor, all kinds of medals, walked away from the war, and we catch up with him 30 years later.
Wow, you're doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
What's your handle if people want to follow you on Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff?
Yeah, I'm at Thumbfighter. You can go. I'm on Twitter, Facebook. I've got both a fan and personal page. You can go over to richardhatch.com. I'm all over the place, but I teach, I lecture, I go to colleges, universities, but I'm very, very busy right now filming. I'm involved in a number of projects right now, so it's a very busy time, but I love motivating other people to kind of get out there and take their dreams and their ideas and go develop them.
Are you living in Los Angeles, or are you?
I live in Los Angeles, but I travel the world.
Good for you. I'm glad you do that. Ladies and gentlemen, Richard Hatch, he's with me, and I wish I can bring him. I want to bring you back to the studios. And why? Because all the rest of the crew would sit apart, and I'm telling you, I'm with a bunch of nerds. They'd rip you apart for 5 hours.
Anytime. So say we all.
What we're going to do is we're going to get all your information. We're going to bring you back in the show again. And thank you so much, Richard Hatch, for joining me.
All right. Hold up, everybody. Listen up.
Hey, it's Fonseca on Your Nerd Side. All the information you need and everything you want to find out is on yournerdside.com, especially winning a hoverboard, a Back to the Future hoverboard. Simple and easy, right? Well, there's a new map that shows how all Marvel movies and TV shows are connected through 2019. I'm not kidding you. I have an actual timeline that goes through it. With the Avengers, Age of Ultron bridging the gap between Marvel Studios Phase 2 and Phase 3 films, plus several television projects, Marvel has a lot of balls in the air with everything that's going on, right? Well, we have it broken down for you. Got this little map that's going to show exactly how Ant-Man ties into Marvel this and that, Agent Carter. You don't believe me? Go to yournerdside.com, and I've got the map right there. Let's head back to the Big Wow Comic Book Fest and see what else is going on. And if you need to reach us, always shoot us an email, Fonseca, Fonseca, at yournerdside.com.
I got some very bad news to tell y'all.
So powers of being sent me out and about. I'm at the Big Wow Comic Fest, and I'm walking around, and I found a table that says Annadelle. Am I saying it around? Annadelle?
Annadelle, that's correct.
Annadelle, and I see a Walking Dead Season 2, a Telltale game series. How does Annadelle and the Walking Dead video game tie in with each other?
Well, we did a lot of the music for the second season of the game. We did credits for the first and third episode, plus we did all original compositions for the trailers for the entire season, which are the previews of the
previews. So are you a rock band, or are you just are you like the guy from there's something trying to get over Sarah Marshall, where you would watch the movie and make all the music for movies? Is that the kind of guy you are?
Kind of, yeah. I would rescore every movie if I had the opportunity.